They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Push him back. Ready.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. A big play that time for the Raiders. 45 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
58, come on. And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Second and 13. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Well, no takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll set up to throw. And this will complete to Burnett. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're...
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. And to give this time to the tailback. The nice footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And the big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. And his kick is indeed good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And here are the Browns for their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ballgame.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And this one will be brought back to the 22. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs lived for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Now, they've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
And not just speed, not just their physical skills. You know what pulls it all together for this secondary? Their smarts and communication. They play really well as a unit.
On 2nd down, Travis. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
So much of his game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Glenn. He's got his man on the crossing route. 33 yards that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Down to the 25.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
6-0 our score after one.
Got it. 53. Mike. Let's go. Let's get this ball back to the offense. Let's go.
Throwing on third and long. Glenn. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. Want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, try to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Travis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now again, right side, Travis. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection is... Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get to normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that.
And this is caught for a touchdown. We'll check the flag, but it looked like a clear offsides, and it should stand. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
This is taken at the 23. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop.
This is caught at the 20. A big play that time for Cleveland. 51 yards. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And it's caught. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Here we go. 15, Lonnie. 15, Lonnie. Come.
Looking to throw. Glenn. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap.
The pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Charles, what a slacker. 5 sacks last week. Took him all the way to the second quarter to get one here in this one.
And just think about all the planning that went into this game to try and keep him from getting to the quarterback. After one quarter, maybe they exhaled and thought, hey, we got this. Oh, no, you don't. You got to come up with another plan, more looks, maybe even more bodies to keep him out of the backfield.
And he will find his man on the outside. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On third down, Travis, and he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's the Raiders punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right on the 30. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Down. 10-2 soft.
Mike, here we go, D. All day defense, all day.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw on second down. Glenn. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Get off the train tracks.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This is fielded at the goal line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect.
Ready, set.
The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. A throw over the middle, taken in. That one goes for 24 yards.
Come on, set. AT Gator. You better be afraid of me. You better.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Showing up.
On first down, Travis. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Travis. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Back to throw here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This is taken at the 15. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Back to throw. Glenn. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
It's going to be a long day.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Ready? 50, plant.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
On 1st and 10, Glenn. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Looking to throw. Glenn. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. 2nd and 3. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. From 3 yards out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, what, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
At the 45-yard line.
2nd and 5. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Here's the Raiders punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Glenn. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
So we got man.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Clear.
53 at the mic.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Let's go. 15 line it. 15 line.
Hey, let's get this, get this.
Ready to go. Let's go.
On first down, Glenn. And this one's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Only a yard of the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
53's mine. Check.
To throw on 3rd down. Glenn. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Looking to throw. Glenn escaping the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. A 10-play drive that time. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrapper.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'll look to throw. And he's going to have the hook up to Burnett. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Browns to take over They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Set and logo.
50, Mike, 50. Watch the pass.
Speed grip, speed grip.
Now a handoff looking right, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Glenn. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Got it.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Here we go. 18 Gators.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they fall to defeat for the 2nd time this season. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL
these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what they mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining, I got up and changed my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they pay, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you try it again, but the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up, I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. With throw it blind in my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. Sick with the talk, Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all. Peak flow. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter, right? Turn it up. We giving a show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. I score up in the end zone, do my dance all on a hater. A mover and a shaker, you a novice, I'm a player. I'm from DC, but I'm running through and sacking like a raider. 2 chains on my neck, one for now and one for later. If we don't play fair, baby, we play for keeps. You can pass me up, this is not a bye week. I'm looking for a trophy competition, looking steep. Yeah, I'm training, I've been focused, I've been bombing from the deep. I'm like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Hit to hit with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, #1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz. Yeah, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Pepper stuff the edge like I don't know no bill. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, how about it? How about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch it, skirt the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? How about it? Rep for your brum, where your poster, popping your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Look how far we coming. Heartbeat for the streets, you can do it. Ain't built for the weekend, sweet. This sugar, one man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods, damn out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Pepper stuff the edge like I don't know no bills. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. skills. Yeah.